DDS. Dr.
Let's rock
Rhonda
and roll.
Lorraine, DDS. Leading off for the Mustangs, number 2, Russo.
The Mustangs are leading off in the top of the first inning. Brock Johnson will be looking to get off to a strong start to the afternoon. The first pitch will be at 5:22. Johnson, the righty versus the lefty batter, delivers a strike right down the middle, 0-1. Good opening pitch to start it off. It is a very comfortable weather day. Johnson delivers that one low. It's 1-1.
Fed draws third base for the Tarpons, playing in on the grass. Left-handed hitter, you want to make sure he doesn't get a bunt down on the third base side.
1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch, wide, 2-1. Historically, Assumption has been a small ball team. They have been more than willing to get bunts down, and usually they execute very, very well. The 2-1. There's a strike on the outside corner, 2-2. Not much Russo could have done with that one, even had he swung. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the first batter of the game in the top of the first inning. Johnson delivers, and it's high, and it's full. Looks like the wind is blowing in a little bit today, kind of a crosswind from right to left, slightly in. A 3-2, and he walked him, so it's a leadoff man aboard for the Mustangs. Good at bat for Russo.
Next up for the Mustangs, number 17, Gode.
Yeah, nice job by Russo for the Mustangs. That was a good at bat to start the game off for the Mustangs.
Lawson Gode will stand in. He's their right fielder. Teams have been hesitant to run with Mack back there. He's got a very strong arm. See if the Mustangs try to test him out. Johnson's pitch is a called strike, 0-1. Tell you what, Chief, when the sun goes down, it's going to get nippy, but that wind has a little bite to it.
Sure does.
The 0-1, they'll throw back and the runner's in safe. It's crazy. We've done a lot of baseball last few years. We really haven't had all that much heat. Remember, even last year at Barb, it was chilly in like May. The 0-1 shows bunt, stabs at it, and can't get it down, and it's just called strike, 0-2.
The year before, we paid the price.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
I know I did. It was hot.
No balls and 2 strikes to Gode. Johnson will throw back to first, and the runner's in safe again. Supposed to be pretty hot on Saturday. Tarpons are taking on Booker T. Washington. Temperature I saw was 81. Johnson ahead in the count big. The pitch just missed, 1-2. So if for nothing else, the Mustangs are making Johnson work in the top of the first inning. And he'll throw back again, and the runner's in safe again.
That's probably one of the objectives for the Mustangs is see if they can chase Johnson off the mound.
I wish I would have had an opportunity to chat with Coach Gitros before the game, and they throw back and he's in safe again. I'm not all that sure who all threw yesterday. I know that they played against Central Catholic.
I believe it was Worley and Austin Curo.
Okay, so you would think the starter would be down. I don't know how many Curo threw. So we wait the 1-2. It's cut on and missed, and there's the first out of the game. A strikeout for Brock Johnson, and there's 1 away.
Next up for the Mustangs, number 16,
been
Semino.
a little bit high on the zone, but Gode chased it.
Now Mr. Cole Semino will stand in. The guy that, quite frankly, I thought we'd see on the mound today, but I wasn't aware he was fighting some injury concerns. He's a college arm. They're obviously going to be very careful with him. Johnson delivers. There's a strike, 0-1.
Kind of surprised that the Mustangs didn't try to bunt with Gode with nobody out.
Reed By is on deck. We've been seeing him in that lineup for a long time here in Napoleonville. This is going to be the first season in quite some time, maybe since you and I have been doing baseball together, that we don't make the trip to Assumption this year. The 0-1, runner goes. It's a breaking. Nope, delayed steal. They'll throw down anyway, but he head back. The pitch was a called strike. It's 0-2.
That was a good-looking pitch by Johnson.
Bluffed like he was stealing, got about 25% of the way there, then headed back. Mac threw it down there anyway, just in case. It's 0-2 to Semino. Johnson's pitch. Breaking pitch wide, 1-2. In the top of the first inning, the Mustangs have a runner on via a leadoff walk. Johnson struck out the 2-hole batter. Now is ahead 1-2 to the 3-hole batter, Semino, who calls time. And they got him picked off. Can the Tarpons execute? The answer is no, they cannot. They throw it away. They went to first, and the throw from first to second was high, and the Tarpons let Assumption get a free 90 feet there. That's unfortunate. Coach Cadu is not happy with the base running there. He knows that he just caught a break.
I should have canned him. Berg had a hard time getting the ball out of his glove.
1-2. Semino now with a base hit could give his team the early lead. The pitch. Breaking pitch got him looking. 2 away. That was a really good pitch from Brock Johnson there to get a tough batter. And now there's 2 strikes.
Next up for the Mustangs, number 8, By.
Reed By will stand in. He's the third baseman.
The hitters are going to have to adjust. Umpire's giving that outside corner.
Yeah, it does appear to be a pretty big zone early, doesn't it? Johnson takes a peek at the runner, now comes to the plate. It's slow, blocked by Mack, 1-0. Josh Mack is a sophomore, correct? He does an excellent job back there. 1-0. Yeah, blocked again. 2-0. Tell you what, as Mac's going to go talk to Johnson, it was a joy, and I know that you were not able to attend that one. Maybe you watched it on the internet a little bit. Last Tuesday when South Lafourche played South Terrebonne, seeing Mac go head-to-head with Detillier, it was a catching showcase.
Yeah, I missed that one completely.
It was a clinic put on by both sides. And then, of course, Detillier had the go-ahead home run late in the game to put the Gators back on top. Hitters count for By. The 2-0 pitch is low, 3-0. On deck is Caleb Bro for the Mustangs. Well, the cleanup guy had the green light. We'll never know, but he walked him on 4. That was way out of the zone, so it's a second walk of the inning.
Next up for the Mustangs, number 13, Bro.
Scoreboard update brought to you by 3T, home of the drive-through oil change, Catholic of New Iberia 3, Edie White 0 in the top of the 7th inning.
Tarpons have a date with Catholic of New Iberia coming up.
Yep, sure do. First pitch to Bro from Mr. Brock Johnson is hit in the air to right, and that's going to be played on a hop. The Mustangs are going to hold the runner up. Boy, don't know that they got the best jump there. Going on contact, you'd have thought they would have been able to score, but they have to hold up the runner, and the bases will now be loaded. And a good job in right field that time by Jack Leday hustling the back end.
Number 4, Turner.
That could be a big part. I know it's early in his game, but 2 outs on contact, you should have been running.
Yeah, it didn't look like they got the best jump that time, and now that allows Johnson a chance to maybe wiggle out of this. Reese Turner with a chance to maybe put a crooked number up. Johnson's pitch is a called strike, 0-1. So a big spot in the game in the early stages. Pitcher versus pitcher. The bases are loaded. 2 walks and a base hit. Have them full for the Mustangs. Johnson trying to get out of it. The 0-1. Yeah, called strike, 0-2 on the outside black. The home crowd ready to make some noise if they could get one pitch in that zone and get one out right here. The 0-2 to Turner. Breaking pitch, got him, and that'll retire the side. So Johnson has some problems in the first inning, but he does strike out the side and leaves the bases loaded. The Tarpons are coming to the plate in a scoreless tie in the bottom of the first here on the Tarpon Sports Radio Network.
Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it.
Turner's warm-up tosses were a little bit erratic, but he's an athlete. He may turn it on when we're under the white lights. Let's see. First pitch is high, 1-0.
Came a little bit heat.
The 1-0 is high, 2-0. Pierce ahead in the count. Turner trying to deliver his first strike. It's in the dirt, 3-0. This is mirroring what we saw in the warm-up tosses where it was military arm. Left, right, up, down, up, down. The 3-0. There's a called strike on the inside corner, and it's 3-1.
Seen this a lot. How close to the plate these batters get.
The 3-1. Chopped on the left side, gloved by the shortstop. Got to make a long throw. No chance. He beat it out. It's an infield single. There was nothing that the shortstop Russo could have done different. He played it hard. He made a good long throw. Pierce is just too fast.
Next up for the Tarpons, number 2, Jack Leday.
Now Leday will stand in. For South Lafourche, and you, Coach, you were mentioning the guys standing right on top of the plate as we await the first pitch. Just fouled into the screen, 0-1. I was doing a Nichols game this week, and the Colonels have a guy who like literally is almost standing on home plate. Like I had to get told to back off a little bit. That That seems to be the new trend, as Pierce has a huge lead over there. He throw back and he's in safe. I think at some point in this at bat, we might have a stolen base brought to you by Absolute Fitness. But boy, he's got a big old healthy lead over there. Turner takes a peek. Not going. The 0-1 is wide. 1-1.
Turner's off speed, just missed to the outside.
At a final score, Catholic of New Iberia defeated E.D. White 3-0 and threw a no-hitter in the game.
Oh.
That's brought to you by 3T, home of the drive-through oil change. Pierce takes his lead, the 1-1 to Leday. High, 2-1. Turner's going to have to start getting ahead. If he's falling behind everybody and they know you're throwing a fastball, they're going to hit you. Second straight batter, he falls behind. The 2-1. That one's hit to left. Left fielder chasing it down near the foul line. Makes a running catch. Good job that time by their left fielder, Prejean, and there's one away.
Next up for the Tarpons.
I've got the stats from Coach Geachers. I believe 393 on the season for Brock. Been swinging a hot stick. See if he could get a base shot here. Throw back. Ooh, look out. Almost threw that one away. Pierce is on the bag. And Pierce is in a little pain. Did he jam his finger? Sometimes you see guys break out that oven mitt whenever they're sliding into the bases, because sometimes you get spiked, and it looked like that could have been what happened there. Don't know if he got stepped on or if he just jammed his finger going into the bag, but either way, Pierce seems to be in a little pain, and he's going to go hang out with Ryan for a little bit. Now, Tarpons at some point are going to have to make a decision. Do you run for him and re-enter him? Like, I don't know how much time the umpires are going to give them to figure this out, but he is
Well, they left the dugout.
I would think that they're going to probably have to pinch run and then re-enter if he's able to go. But this injury timeout is brought to you by Thibodaux Regional. Pierce dove into the first base bag, and he either jammed his finger on the bag or maybe got spiked. But he is currently being attended to. Coach Caduce sees an opportunity, says, "Hey man, Turner, let's get throwing. Let's find that rhythm." Got his guys on the infield making some tosses. So at some point, we're going to have a decision made here. Don't know how much longer they're going to give them. It is the bottom of the first inning. It is still scoreless. The Tarpons have a runner on first with one out. And looking around, I don't even know where the young man is. I don't know where they took him.
If you in the dugout, and at least the umpire can see Pierce getting worked on with taped or whatever it is, there he's coming back.
Yeah.
You may think he would let you go a little longer, but when you can't see him.
Well, here he comes. Maybe I had to get a Band-Aid or something of the sort. Well, we'll figure it out in between innings, but we know this. He's a Pierce. It's going to take a lot to knock him out of the game. He looks like he's got a little bandage on that thumb. That is the left hand, so it will not affect the throwing at all. So we play on. pitch to Johnson is high, 1-0. Coach Getros and them guys, they got to invest in those oven mitts like the college guys wear. The 1-0. Fouled into the screen, and it's 1-1. Camden Berg is on deck for Big Blue, trying to get an early run here in the bottom of the first inning. Pierce still has a nice size lead. He does have a glove on that offhand now. Pitch is foul on the right side, out of play, and it's 1-2.
Nice job by Brock Johnson on there, just to foul that ball off.
Brock has some power. He can maybe split a gap somewhere if he gets one that he likes, but he's behind in the count. The 1-2, low, good block by their catcher, and it's 2-2. Diaz with the block. Two balls and two strikes. And the pitch, breaking pitch, just high. Didn't miss by much. A good job by Johnson not offering. So full count. Let's see if the Tarpons put Pierce in motion. He is going, and it is a called strike, so that'll be the second out of the inning, but Pierce will go ahead and get a stolen base brought by Absolute Fitness. So he'll be in score position for Camden Berg. In. Base hit, give the Tarpons an early lead. Turner's pitch, high, 1-0.
Pierce got to be careful with that lead at second.
Yep, don't want to get too big on that secondary lead. They may throw it behind you or try to pick you off. He does have a very, very big lead. The 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Reese Turner trying to eliminate an infield single from Jacob Pierce, which started off the inning. Remember, the Mustangs in the top half of the first had the bases loaded and stranded them. The 1-1 by the catcher. That's a free 90 feet for Pierce. And it'll be 2-1 with Pierce now at third. Another one like that, the Tarpons will have the lead.
Yeah, that wasn't close to the zone. What got away from, I think, Turner.
2 balls and 1 strike in the bottom of the first with 2 out. A runner at third. Here's the pitch. That's by the catcher. The Tarpons are going to take the lead. He's in there. 1-0 South Lafourche. The bases will be cleared. The first one was a wild pitch. That one, I think, was just a pass ball. The catcher should have probably hung on to that one.
He did a good job of hustling to retrieve the ball, but when he was throwing it back to the pitcher covering the bag, he threw it to the wrong side.
So the Tarpons get an early run on the pass ball, and the infield single comes all the way around to score. Now the bases are cleared, and it's a 3-1 count to Camden Berg. Lines that one to the third baseman, makes a diving stab and a long throw. My goodness gracious.
Jesus.
You will not see a better defensive play today than Reed By going to a knee, then making kind of like an underhand flip over to Bourne over at the bag. That retires the side. A web gem. But the Tarpons get a run. They lead 1-0. We're going to the second here on the Tarpon Sports Radio Network.
Tonight's second
Jason,
inning is
that's one
brought
of
to
the
you by
top
Peak
plays I've
Performance
seen all
Health
year.
and Athletic
Oh
Club.
yes, oh yes.
Peak
That was
Performance
a
Health and Athletic Club.
big time play. He went
Leading off
right
for the
in front of the
Mustangs,
bag, fielded it, and
number
then just
20,
kind of
Bourne.
made like a underhand
Like from his
toss
knees.
from his knees, right on the money to the first baseman Bourne, who stands in now. And look, Camden Bird could run, so he had to do it quickly. First pitch of the second inning from Brock Johnson to Bourne is low, 1-0. Tarpons did get a run in that bottom half of the first inning on the pass ball. It started off with the infield single from Pierce. The 1-0. That one's hit to the left side, gloved by Pierce. Got to make a throw, and he does in plenty of time. Good job there by Pierce, recognizing that he had some time. Flipped it over to first, and there's one away.
Next up for the Mustangs, number 7, Prejean.
Prejean will now stand in. The left fielder for the Stanks, he made a good defensive play in the last half inning too, going out into foul ground and hustling one down. And he sees a strike, 0-1. Go ahead and think Advanced Eye Institute. Make the right call. Get your eyes checked by Dr. Darby Chasson today. So we await this 0-1. We'll get you a couple of more after this pitch, which is popped in the air to right. Should be routine for Leday out there, and he squeezes it for the second out. So 2 quick outs for the Tarpons. And we also want to remind you and congratulate Mr. Henry Lafont, the newest member of the Lafourche Parish School Board District 7. Congratulations to Mr. Henry. Lady of the Sea General Hospital, compassionate medicine close to home, and 3T Oil, home of the drive-through oil change. First pitch to Richard is a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Boy, you would love to have a quick defensive inning here in the second. 1, 2, 3. Get yourself back into that dugout. The 0-1. That one's lined up the middle and dropping for a base hit. Angelette played it on a hop, and the 9-hole for the Mustangs gets a base hit. Now you got to face the top of the order again in Russo.
Next up for the Mustangs, number 2, Russo.
And Gillette had a good read on the ball. Just
wasn't hitting hard enough. Didn't get out there to him. Russo drew a walk on a full count. Long at bat his first time up. Johnson will throw back, and the ball gets by Berg, but not far enough for an advance. Here in the top of the second inning with South Lafourche leading by a run, 1-0. 2 outs and 1 aboard for the Assumption Mustangs. Trying to have a 2-out rally here. Rousseau. There's Johnson's pitch. High, 1-0. Johnson takes a peek at the runner, now comes to the plate, and it's a called strike, 1-1. I would be living on that outside portion of the plate today. They're giving you a little extra today. They throw back and the runner's in safe. Leadoff batter, he figures it's a guy who handles the bat well. Could they maybe try a hit and run or something like that, get creative? We'll see. Throw back again, and he's in safe again.
Wouldn't be bad, but you better make sure you make contact.
Yep.
If not, Mac will gun you.
Yep. The 1-1, he's not going. It's a breaking pitch wide, 2-1.
That would have been the pitch to go on. Off-speed pitch, hit a good jump.
Richard taking that lead. The 2-1 is high, 3-1. Now it's becoming nervous times for the Tarpons. You've got 2 outs, 1 aboard, but you were threatening to maybe have to face the heart of their order here in the second, which you didn't sign up for when you got the first 2 guys out. The 3-1. That one's hit foul into the netting, and it's full. We know Richard's going to be running now. the thing he's got to worry about is he's got to make sure that Johnson actually goes to the plate. Here's the pitch. That one's lined on the right side, gloved by the second baseman to the bag in time, and that'll retire the side. So Dewey gets it to Berg. The Tarpons give up a base runner, but nothing on the board. We're going to the bottom of the second. It's 1-0 Tarpons on the Tarpon Sports Radio Network. Swinging it well lately. First pitch of the bottom of the second inning is
Hit him.
hit him. So Mac will wear that one, and the Tarpons will have a base runner. And now Dewey will stand in. Tarpons are probably going to run for their catcher. Yeah, they sure will. And that is
Curo.
Yep, Austin Curall will be running.
Courtesy runner for the Tarpons at first base, number 29, Austin Curall.
So Mac will get a chance to take a breather and go put back on the gear.
Next up for the Tarpons, number 3, Rest
And Dewey will
Dewey.
stand in. The leadoff man came around to score in the first inning. Tarpons will try to repeat the trick here in the second. Pitch. It's foul. It's 0-1. Pedros on deck, Dewey at the plate, and Curall running on behalf of Mac over at first base. Cural's a nice size lead. They throw back and he's in safe, but not by a whole lot. It's a pretty close play. Go ahead and thank Golden Motors, where price is priority and absolute fitness. Health and Fitness Center open 24/7. 17092 West Main Street and Cutoff. The runner's going. They'll throw down there, and he's in safe. So how about that? A stolen base brought to you by Absolute Fitness. The Tarpons now have a runner in scoring position. The pitch was called a ball. It'll be 1-1.
Not sure what the catcher was doing.
Turner delivers, and it's high, 2-1. Hitters count. Let's see if Dewey could come through as the Tarpons are trying to add a little insurance, a little Ashley Barrios State Farm insurance, perhaps. The 2-1. Foul, look out, and it's over the Assumption dugout, 2-2. Curall standing on second base, running for Mac, who got hit to start the inning. Turner in the stretch, takes a peek at the runner, and now he'll come to the plate. That one's fouled. Just got a piece of it, staying alive. It'll stay 2-2.
Hey, load up early. Let's go, Brett.
See if Rest could find the barrel here. At the very least, you'd like to advance the runner from second to third. The 2-2. That one's a line, and that's a base hit. So Dewey comes through. The Tarpons are going to hold up Curall, but the South Lafourche Tarpons have runners at the corners and no out. So very promising rally for Big Blue and a solid base hit that time for Rest.
Next up
And
for
a
the
good job
Tarpons,
of
number
base run
32,
ball for
Max
Curall. Let the
Pedro.
ball go through to advance that one base.
Vedros will stand in. Already 1-0. Big Blue with a chance to extend the lead. Shows bunt. He gets it down.
Nice bunt.
And the Tarpons are going to add a run to their lead. And an excellent job by Vedros, not just letting the first baseman tag him. That allowed Curall more time to come home to score. Perfect execution in the bunt game. Tarpons give up an out, but they get a run. It's now 2-1 or 2-0.
Next up for the Tarpons, number 28, Dane Danos.
Yeah, nice bunt by Max right on the first base side.
ABC baseball there. You still got a runner in scoring position for Dane Danos, who will stand in.
Who's been seeing the ball really well.
Yep, had a couple of line outs on Saturday as time is called. Diaz will go and talk to Turner. Just what the doctor ordered if you're the home team. A couple of early runs. And you're still flirting with maybe even a little more here in the bottom of the second. Here's the pitch. That's on the outside corner, 0-1. Coach Cadu telling his catcher to speed the game up. He said, we're playing too slow. See if they could execute that. The 0-1. It hit him. Yeah, it hit him.
Caught a foul.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. They're going to call it a strike. I don't know about this one. So Dane's going to have to go back to the plate. And Chandler's going to ask for an appeal, see if the base umpire saw it differently. Dane right away headed to first. He thought he got hit. The umpire, I guess, was saying that it hit the bat. And they're not going to win this appeal. So it's going to be a called strike, and Danos is going to have to head back to home plate. So we'll be 0-2. Tarpon coaching staff not all that thrilled by that situation. Turner maybe catches a break. Let's see if he could take advantage of it. It's the pitch. Wide, 1-2. You know, just the way competitive juices flow, you know Dane is itching to get a hit now. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Foul tip into the glove, and that'll be the second out of the inning. So that'll lead to Tyler Sanders standing in.
Next up for the Tarpons, number 27, Tyler Sanders.
2 outs and a runner at second base for Mr. Tyler Sanders, the Tarpon left fielder. Turner's pitch is wide, 1-0. On deck is Jacob Pierce. We saw him handle the glove with the bandage on the thumb, and we'll get a chance later in the game to see if the bat is affected at all. That one's hit on the right side, heading and tailing foul, out of play, and it's 1-1.
Still going back to that foul ball call.
Yeah. Dane was sure he got hit, but the umpires disagreed. The 1-1. Breaking pitch. That's a really good pitch from Turner there for a strike, 1-2. Looked like it was going to hit Tyler in the chest, and then it just like a fishing hook snapped back over the inside corner.
Yeah, Tyler was not expecting that pitch.
1 ball and 2 strikes. The Mustangs trying to get out of a pickle. The pitch. Got him looking, and that'll retire the side. But South Lafourche adds an insurance run to their lead. We're going to the third. It's 2-0 Big Blue here on the Tarpon Sports Radio Network. Blue just throw it a foot off the plate over and over again. The strike zone's so big.
Yeah, he's bad.
You really got me now. First time up, Tarpons would
Tonight's
love to
third
have
inning
another
is brought to
clean
you by
defensive
Chris
inning.
Colley Port Commission.
Getting a little
Chris
chilly.
Colley Port Commission.
It is.
Leading off for the Mustangs, number 17,
I'm
Gode.
not gonna lie, I wore pants and a hoodie to protect myself from the gnats, but it looked like it was a smart decision. First pitch of the third inning to Lawson Gode. Johnson's pitch is low, 1-0. We're talking during the commercial break. It's a big strike zone today. That favors the pitchers. If you could just be anywhere around the plate, you're going to get some calls today.
Yeah, hitters will have to adjust to it.
The 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
It's not that wide.
Semino is on deck for the Mustangs. Tarpons would like to get this first out of the inning. The pitch, low, 2-1. Johnson got the first guy out in the second inning, but did not in the first. He's 1 of 2 at getting the leadoff batter. Two 2-1. That one's hit on the line, foul on the left side. It'll be 2-2. Don't know if it got out of the park, but it certainly was foul.
Yeah, I think it's out.
Yep. Lawson Gode, the right fielder for the Mustangs, will have to battle. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Johnson has a good hook that he likes to get strikeouts with. Comes with it, and he just gets a piece of it. And it's 2-2. In the top of the third inning, Tarpons have gotten a single run in the first and second innings. The 2-2. That one's popped up. Will the park hold it? It will not.
Nope.
That's behind the dugout, and it'll stay 2-2. If we would have had the same wind today that we had in the Saturday game.
Oh, that wind was blowing.
Or I'm sorry, the Friday game. I'm talking about the Eric game where it's blowing dead out. That one may have stayed in. The 2-2. Breaking pitch. Ooh, just missed. A lot of movement on that one. It was a little in, though. It's a big zone, but I don't think it's that big. Now 3-2 to Lawson Gode from Brock Johnson. Popped up, and that one will also get out of play. Right into the ditch. And it'll stay full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The leadoff batter of the inning for the Mustangs, making Johnson work. He delivers. Breaking pitch, and he fouled it away. As a pitcher, there is nothing more annoying than this. But as a hitter and an offense, there's nothing that gets your dugout more fired up than this. Seeing the pitcher's best stuff and just refusing to quit.
But which dugout is going to be fired up?
And we're going to find out. It might take us 10 more pitches to get there, but we're going to find out. The 3-2 is grounded to third, and they make the throw and got him. So a good job there by the Tarpons winning the battle. Vadros flips it over to Berg,
Next
and
up
there's
for
one
the
away.
Mustangs, number 16, Semino.
So Semino will now stand in with 1 out and no one aboard. When you're facing the heart of the order, psychologically, that's just so big to get the first guy out in the inning. Semino struck out looking his first time up. He sees one low, 1-0.
That was like a 10-pitch at bat.
So we mentioned in the open, as we await the 1-0 from Johnson to Semino. It's low. We mentioned in the open we wanted to see how Johnson looked. There was some arm soreness that kept him out of the field for a day or two last week after throwing against South Terrebonne, but looks pretty good. Looks like he has gotten all of the juice back into that right arm. But he's behind 2-0 to a dangerous hitter here. It's the pitch. It's called strike 2-1. Two balls and 1 strike with 1 out in the top of the third. Semino versus Johnson. Pitch. Breaking pitch called strike.
That
It's
was a
2-2.
good pitch.
Yeah, that one started in the right-handed batter's box and then just scraped the black of the plate. Now Semino going to have to fight to try to stay alive. The 2-2 from Johnson. That one's way wide. The breaking pitch that didn't break, and it's 3-2. Looked like he maybe overthrew that one a little bit. Just trying to deliver his best. Now full count delivery. Breaking pitch just missed, and that'll be a walk. So the Mustangs will have a base runner. Second walk of the game
Next
for
up
Johnson.
for the Mustangs, number 8, Bye.
And Reed Bye will stand in. If we would have sold some sort of web gem of the game, Bye would have already be holding the trophy on the play that he made earlier in the game at third. Now trying to make something happen offensively. That's wide 1-0. I apologize. I said it was the second walk for Johnson. It is the third, because Bye also walked earlier in the game. That was in the first inning. They throw back, and Semino's in safe. One ball and no strikes. Brock Johnson delivers to the plate, and it's wide 2-0. Mack will go and talk to Johnson. They're not throwing a whole lot of strikes this inning. Falling behind all 3 hitters so far.
Job by Matt. Just walk out, calm Johnson down just a little.
While he does that, that'll allow us to go back to the sheet, and we could thank State Bank and Trust Company, banking you can count on, member FDIC, and Thibodeau Regional Health System, a leader in bringing the latest and best technology to our region. 2-0. Was lined foul to the left of the bag, and it'll be a loud strike. 2-1. Semino in first, Bye at the plate, ahead 2-1 with 1 out in the top of the third inning. Johnson delivers. That one's lined to Pierce at short, and he bobbled it, and it gets to the outfield. That's one Pierce would probably like to have back, though it was a hard-hit baseball. He's going to probably take the error on that one. And now Bro will
Next up
send
for the
in.
Mustangs, number 13,
Yeah,
Bro.
he moved to his right just a step or two, but I think he was trying to make the play before he cleanly fielded the ball.
Yeah, was trying to flip it to second base, maybe try to turn two. Bro will now stand in. He had a hit to right. That was that ball where the Mustangs, if they would have been going on contact, would have probably scored a run. They just had a little bit of hesitation, and it led to the bases being loaded and then Turner striking out. It's the pitch. He shows bunt, and he pulls back. It's a ball 1-0. Trying to give you an out. Tarpons are going to have to execute this.
I think they just might be taking.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't be a bad idea because he has fallen behind just about everybody in the inning. Not showing bunt this time and seeing it wide, 2-0. Ominous point in the game for the Tarpons. Johnson struggling with the command. The 2-0 is in the dirt, 3-0. Three balls and no strikes to Caleb Bro. And he sees a strike, 3-1. See if Brock could come all the way back here. It's still a dangerous pitch in a big-time hitter's count. That one's hit to the third baseman. Vedros touches the bag for one, goes to first, and got him, and that'll retire the side. A 5-3 double play gets the Tarpons out of a jam, and we've seen two really good defensive plays at third today, won by each third baseman. It's 2-0 Tarpons. We're going to the home half of the third on the Tarpon Sports Radio Network. He hit a slow ground ball to the shortstop, Russo, who just didn't have enough time to make a throw. And Pierce ended up coming around and scoring. Turner's pitch. Inside corner for strike 0-1. No balls and one strike to the Tarpon shortstop. Grounded to the shortstop again. Has to make a throw again, and he got him by a step that time. So a better defensive play from Russo that time, and there's one away.
Next up for the Tarpons, number 2, Jack Leday.
And that ball was hit a little harder, which was the reason why he had the extra time to get it out there. Leday flew out to left in foul territory his first time up. He's going to be hunting for his first hit of the day. Wide 1-0. One ball and no strikes to the Tarpon right fielder. Pops that one up, and it'll be behind the bleachers foul, 1-1.
It's like Max Vedros in the bullpens for the Tarpons.
Getting loose just in case. The 1-1. Foul just to the left of the bag. Ooh, that would have been a little straighter. It would have been big trouble for the Mustangs, but it'll be 1-2. See if Jack could fight something off here with 2 strikes. The 1-2. That one's hit in the air to the shortstop, going back, and it's going to be caught by the left fielder. Hung up just long enough for Prejean to come in and make the play.
Next up for the
And now
Tarpons,
Brock
number
Johnson will
5,
stand in.
Brock.
Brock struck out looking his first time up. 2 quick outs for Reese Turner. We talked about getting the leadoff guy to start an inning. Turner was 0 for 2 at bat before this inning. Of course, he got the first batter this inning, so he's now 1 for 3. So strike to Johnson, 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to Brock Johnson in the bottom of the 3rd inning. That one's lined. Gloved by the shortstop, Rousseau. No way. That's going to be an infield single.
Yeah.
Rousseau gave a great effort. Threw off of his back foot, jumping in the air like Derek Jeter, but didn't have a chance that time. That's an infield
Next
single
up for the
Johnson.
Tarpons, number 15,
He actually got
Camden Bird.
a great bounce because he was moving to his right. The ball bounced right back toward him. But it was way too deep in the hole with shortstop.
Titan Alamo is going to run for the pitcher, Johnson. Johnson will
Courtesy
get a
runner at
breather.
first base for the Tarpons, number 21, Titan Alamo.
Now Camden Berg will stand in. He got robbed of a hit by in the 1st inning. Alamo with a big old lead. Will he be heading to second base? Not going on the first pitch, which is grounded to By, who will get it to the second base bag. And that'll retire the side. Tarpons need to find someone else to hit it to. That is going to be the end of the bottom of the 3rd inning. South Lafourche has a 2-0 lead. We'll be back in a minute on the Tarpon Sports Radio Network.
Power Systems. Force Power Systems. Leading off for the Mustangs,
Pitcher versus
number
pitcher.
4, Turner.
Reese Turner will stand in. He was a strikeout victim his first time up. And the first pitch of the 4th inning from Brock Johnson to Reese Turner is cut on and missed 0-1. That's a good start to the inning. Now the 0-1 shows bunt and pops it up into the screen 0-2. Vedros is ready to go if Johnson runs into some problems, but you got to think that they would like to get at least another couple of innings out of Brock. Vedros is probably an insurance policy at this point. The 0-2. That one's hit in the air to the left. Sanders trying to get under it. Looks like he is under it, and there's one away. So good job there by Tyler Sanders getting under the lazy fly ball. And now Bourne will stand in.
Next up for the Mustangs, number 20, Bourne.
Bourne grounded out to Pierce his first time up. Johnson has thrown 3 straight strikes to start the inning, and that one's wide 1-0.
Not sure if he's on a pitch count.
1-0. High 2-0. Let's go ahead and thank the Blue Boot Foundation, driving awareness to childhood drowning, make a difference, and then also Terrebonne General Health System and the Community Sports Institute, and Ashley Barrios, State Farm in Cutoff. The 2-0 pitch from Brock Johnson. That one's hit to left lazily. Pierce going to the outfield grass, makes the play, 2 away. Not sure that Coach Cadu is going to be all that thrilled there. It was a 2-0 count, and it looked like Bourne chased one out of the zone and popped it up. But the Tarpons will take the out. And there's 2 away with no one on for Prejean. That one's hit in the air. Could be a 1-2-3 inning. The Tarpons are charging it. And Pierce will make the play, and that'll retire the side. So, Johnson struggled through the 3rd, but he gets him 1-2-3 in the 4th. It's 2-0 South Lafourche. Going to the home half of the 4th on the Tarpon Sports Radio Network. Very, very good defensive inning for the Tarpons in the top of the 4th. Got a quick 1-2-3.
Like 7 pitches.
The 0-1. Yeah, it's called strike 0-2. Tarpons would love to add a little more insurance in the middle innings. The 0-2. Got him looking. That's a good pitch. A really, really good pitch from Turner that time, and there's 1 away. And now Res Due. Res had a big base hit
number 3, Res
in the 2nd
Due.
inning, which allowed Vedros to drop down the bunt, which moved the runner from 2nd to 3rd. See if Res could get his 2nd hit of the afternoon. It's hit to right, and it is his second hit of the afternoon. So that a boy rests. He's now 2 for 2 with a solid base hit. One to left, one to right. Vedros will stand
Next up
in.
for the Tarpons, number 32, Max Vedros.
I would think the Tarpons would be aggressive here.
Max has had 2 of the plays of the day for South Lafourche today. He was a big part of that big double play that got him out of the inning in the third, and he got down that big bunt in the second. He is showing bunt here. Rest is going. They'll throw down on a pitch that was a called strike, and he's safe. So that stolen base is brought to you by Absolute Fitness. The Tarpons get their bunt for free. Now a base hit from Vedros could potentially make it 3-0. Scoreboard says it was a ball. I thought it was a called strike. I'm not sure. We're going to have to wait and see whenever he signals with his fingers again. Here's the pitch. Well, it's not going to matter, but that one's hit to the right side and gloved by – oh, he dropped by the second baseman. That's going to be an error. The second baseman, Richard, just clean dropped it, kind of mistimed the jump. The Tarpons will have runners at first and second now. And Danos will stand in.
Next up for the Tarpons, number 28, Dane Danos.
What boy. Danger zone for the Mustangs here. You got 9 offensive outs to play with. You don't want to fall behind any more than 2. Danos will stand in. He struck out his first time up. Pitch is wide, 1-0. Good block that time by the catcher, Diaz. Big spot of the game for the Mustangs. They can't afford to fall behind any more than they already are. Tarpons trying to get some insurance. The 1-0 is chopped. That is a fair ball. They'll throw it down to third and get the lead runner.
Well, better take off the first.
Danos just didn't run, so that'll retire the side. Danos thought it was a foul ball. The catcher fields it, throws it to third for the first out. Danos was walking towards the dugout, and that is going to be a 2-5-3 double play. That'll retire the side. Don't see that very often. Tough break for the Tarpons. It's 2-0 South Lafourche going to the 5th on the Tarpon Sports Radio Network.
Leading off for the Mustangs,
Well,
number
you
9.
got to run the ball. You got to run it out.
Richard.
Richard will stand in. 9-1-2. Big spot here for Brock Johnson in the 5th inning. Getting to the late stages here. Johnson's pitch is a called strike 0-1. Be the 3rd time through the order for the Mustangs. See if they could start to see it a little better. The 0-1. Low. Mustangs have not made a whole lot of loud contact. They've gotten base runners when Johnson has walked guys and has struggled with his command. 9-hole. Richard does have a base hit in the game. The 1-1 is wide. 2-1. Two balls and one strike. That's low. 3-1. You don't want to put anybody on base for free and then have to start facing the Russos and the Godays and the Simoneaus and the Buys with ducks on the pond. Johnson would love to battle back here. He's behind 3-1. And it's going to be hit up the middle. Gloved by, nope, not gloved by Pierce. Pierce knew it was a slow roller. He would have to barehand it to even have a chance. And he tried for the barehand and it just slipped through. It's an infield single.
Next up for the Mustangs,
that was
number
Pierce's
2, Russo.
only chance at it. Try and barehand the ball.
So now Russo will stand in. He's walked and grounded out to rest Due over at second. Another ground ball to rest wouldn't be too bad right here. Tarpons can maybe try to turn 2 again. Throw back, and the runner's in safe. In the top of the 5th inning, 2-0 South Lafourche. The Tarpons got single runs in the first and second innings. Johnson's pitch shows bunt, gets it down. Now you got to hustle. Johnson will get it to the bag for the out. So it's a sacrifice bunt. Mustangs get 90 feet, but the Tarpons get an out.
Next up for the Mustangs, number 17, Goday.
Now Goday will stand in. I'm not sure that the Mustangs there were sacrificing per se. I think Russo was trying to bunt his way on, but it ended up working out like a sacrifice.
Yeah, he bunted it a little too hard and right at Johnson.
As Goday will stand in. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it into the screen, 0-1. Big spot in the game. It's 2-0 Tarpons in the top of the 5th. You're facing the heart of their order with a runner in scoring position. If Johnson could put a goose egg on the board, it would be huge for the Tarps here. The 0-1, low, 1-1.
He's looking for anything free.
Lawson Goday, the right fielder for the Mustangs. The 1-1. There's a called strike, 1-2. Just after 6:30 on a Tuesday here in Galliano, the Tarpons lead 2-0. In the top of the 5th inning, the 1-2 pitch from Brock Johnson. Lined up the middle, and that's going to be gloved by Pierce. And again, just kind of bobbled it, getting it into the throwing hand. So it'll be another infield single, runners at the corners for the Mustangs. It's a slow
Next
hit
up for
ball.
the Mustangs, number 16, Simoneau.
And the biggest threat of the game so far for the Mustangs, with Simoneau standing in with runners at the corners and 1 out.
Pierce covered a lot of ground. He caught that ball behind second base.
A dangerous hitter in a dangerous spot in the late stages of the ball game. The pitch. That's grounded. Could be 2. Due gets it to second for 1. Pierce goes to first, not in time. So the Mustangs will get a run. The Tarpons will get an out. And there will be 2 outs and a runner at first on a fielder's choice RBI ground out from Simoneau.
Next up for the Mustangs, number 8, Bye.
As Bye will stand in with the score now 2-1. Bye reached on an error and walked. You're not out of the trouble just yet. Got to get one more. The pitch. Runner takes off. Swing and a miss. Mack will throw down there, and he's
Safe.
in there. Sorry about that, y'all. My view is blocked by the catcher and the home plate umpire, but he did steal it. And it'll be 0-1, but Assumption moves another runner into scoring position. So 1 across in the half inning and a dangerous hitter behind 0-1, but a runner in scoring position. Assumption trying to tie it up. It's the pitch. That one's hit to left. Sanders chasing it down, and he will make the play to retire the side. So Assumption gets one, but the Tarpons get out of the jam still with the lead. We're going to the bottom of the fifth. It's 2-1 Big Blue here on the Tarpon Sports Radio Network. First pitch from Turner in the bottom of the fifth inning. Turner has pitched well today. Had a little bit of a shaky start, but he settled in nicely. That's wide 1-0. Coach Cadu told me when I was going to get the lineup card in the pregame, he said we need him to go deep today. We don't have a whole lot of available arms. We need some length from him. That one's fouled, and it's 1-1.
Tarpon's off tomorrow.
Off tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
At Houma Christian School Thursday. Then, as we wait, the 1-1 is low. Then home Booker T. Washington on Saturday. You figure, just being realistic, Houma Christian School, that'd be a 50-50 game. Booker T. Washington, your favorite to win that one. The 2-1 grounded foul. It's 2-2. But that's the beauty of baseball, is that who knows what the heck is going to happen anytime you show up at the park.
Yeah, and it's the district games that are more important for the Tarpons.
Yep, this is the biggest game of the week for the Tarpons this week, without question. The 2-2, low, 3-2. If you're South Lafourche, you are hoping, obviously, to win today, and then you're rooting hard for Lutcher to beat South Terrebonne tonight. And if both of those things happen, as the 3-2 is cut on and missed, and there's one away in the bottom of the fifth. But, Coach, if both of those things happen, you're in a pretty doggone good spot going to the rest of the way.
Tarpons, number 7, Jacob Pierce.
As Pierce will stand in. Pierce has a base hit and a ground out. He's 1 for 2. Low, 1-0. One thing that also favors the Tarpons, and just not to demean anybody, but it is what it is, probably the two lesser teams in the district would be Morgan City and Ellender. You've not played either one of them yet, so that helps. But you got a lot of work to do to close this one out here. The 1-0 is way high, 2-0.
Yeah, and you look ahead that end of the season game against Vanderbilt.
That could potentially be for all the marbles. Yep. But again, long way to go to get there. The 2-0. Inside corner for a strike, 2-1. South
Terrebonne's going to have a lot to say about that.
Yes, sir. If they go on the road and beat Lutcher today, they're going to be saying, you guys, as that's on the inside corner for a strike, 2-2, you guys are forgetting about us. And then likewise, if Assumption comes back and wins this game, they'll also be 1-0 in the district and will be looking pretty good too. The 2-2 to Pierce. chopped, slow roller. Third baseman can't get a glove on. Well, he does get a glove on. He can't get it into his glove. I'm giving Pierce a hit. Yeah, that would have been a really, really tough play. So I'm going to go ahead and give him an infield
number
single.
2,
Ryan
Jack
agrees.
Leday.
Leday will stand in. I don't know if it's an official scoring decision until Cruz makes it for us, though. Cruz, if you're watching, let us know if that was a hit or an error. Leday will stand in. He's flown out to the left fielder. I say that joking, but he very well may be watching, knowing him. Pierce is running. The pitch is high. They throw down there. No chance. He's in easily. That stolen base is brought to you by Absolute Fitness. The Tarpons have found a little bit of running game today, picking on Diaz behind the plate a little bit. That is a big insurance run standing over there on second base. You know this. The difference between a 1-run and a 2-run lead is huge in these late stages. Time called at the plate by Leday. Turner has to be careful. If he falls asleep here, Pierce could easily go and try to take third, too. He gets a big enough jump. The 1-0. That's lined hard right at the first baseman, who makes a really nice play. That's Bourne. So Pierce will advance to third, but Assumption gets the out. Leday's hardest hit ball of the day, but it was right at the first baseman.
Number 5, Brock Johnson.
And now Brock Johnson stands inside.
Yeah, they put the wild pitch into play.
Tarpons have scored on one of them already in the game. Brock on the mound has worked 5 innings. You know he would love nothing more than to help himself out right here and get an RBI. First pitch, swing and a miss, 0-1. Johnson does have an infield single earlier in the game. Another one of those, and it would potentially be 3-1. Turner, the 0-1. Wide, 1-1. It's been a good ball game so far. These teams have played mostly a clean game. Johnson trying to help himself. Turner trying to slam the door. It's a breaking pitch. It hit him. Could potentially end up being a little bit bad luck there for the Tarpons. I don't know that the catcher would have caught that one, but it ends up hitting Johnson, and now there'll be runners at the corners. For Camden Berg. See if Camden could come through. Tarpons are going to run. Alamo for Brock Johnson.
Next up for the Tarpons, number 15, Camden Berg.
I would think at some point there's a pretty high likelihood that he'll try to take second
number 21, Titan
and
Alamo.
just see what they do. If they let the throw go through, Pierce may come around and try to score. Alamo actually shortening his lead. He added a little wider, took a couple steps back. The pitch is a called strike on the outside corner, 0-1.
Yeah, I would think they would send him.
Berg has a chance to do some big damage here in the bottom of the 5th. Turner battling on the mound. The runner's not going. That one's cut on and missed. It's 0-2. Really good block by Diaz that time. No balls and 2 strikes.
You're betting, man.
He's going.
He's going this pitch.
Yep, he's going on this one. 2 strikes, 2 outs. He's already going. And he's already standing on second base. As that one's lined on the right side. Base hit! The Tarpons add some insurance with the hit and run. They're going to hold up Alamo, who had an outside chance because he was standing on second base as the pitch was thrown. I've never seen anybody get that much of a jump. It's an RBI base hit for Berg. Runners stay at the corners. It's now 3-1.
Next up for the
Cannot
Tarpons, number
believe
20,
the Mustangs didn't
Josh
step off
Mack.
there and at least try to throw him out. Now Josh Mack will stand in. It's now a 3-1 game. Mack has been hit and he struck out. The pitch. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
Same situation here.
Pitch. Runner goes. They'll just let him have it. It's high, 1-1. Another runner in scoring position. That stolen base brought to you by Absolute Fitness. Base hit could potentially make this a 5-1 game. The pitch. Wide, 2-1.
Turner looks tad frustrated.
There's no one throwing for Assumption, but that may just mean the next guy's in the field somewhere. As Turner has used a lot of gas today. The 2-1. Wide, 3-1. On deck for the Tarpons is maybe the hottest hitter of the day, Rez Due, who's 2 for 2. Mack in a hitter's count should see a heater here. Let's see if he could drive it somewhere. The 3-1. It's high and the bases are loaded. The Mustangs stranded the bases loaded earlier in the game. Let's see if the Tarpons can come through. They're going to run for Mack with Austin Curall. And Due is going to stand in.
Courtesy runner at first base, number 29, Austin Curall.
Oops, out. Or they still in?
Turner's around 73 pitches.
Now batting for the Tarpons, number 3, Rez Due.
Due is 2 for 2. Turner trying to battle. The pitch is a called strike, 0-1. The bases are full of Tarpons. There are 2 outs. The 0-2. That's a good pitch for a strike. Breaking ball in the outside corner, and now Rest is going to have to fight. It's 0-2. Biggest spot of the game for the Mustangs. They can't fall behind anymore. The Tarpons are trying to put a crooked number on them here in the 5th. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, and Turner gets out of a big spot to retire the side. But South Lafourche does get an insurance run in the inning, and they now lead 3-1. We'll be back in just a second on the Tarpon Sports Radio Network. Already to the 6th inning. Tarpons have a 2-run lead. Johnson delivers his first pitch. That's chopped foul, and it's 0-1. Oh, they got some gnats today,
they
boss. That's the problem with the wind dying down. The 0-1 to Bro. That's fisted out to right, and it's going to drop for a hit. Was not hit hard. It was just kind of a little excuse me swing. He got jammed, but he muscled it out to right, and the Mustangs had the leadoff man
Next up
aboard.
for the Mustangs, number 4, Turner.
It was a very interesting swing, was it not?
Yeah.
As now Turner will stand in.
You would think that the Mustangs are just trying to chase Johnson off the mound.
They try to get active on the bases. The pitch. That one's popped up behind us. Out of play. It's 0-1. Reese Turner is a really good young man. We had a chance to speak with him after they played the Tarpons in football this past season. Very well spoken. Throw back. I remember he scored like 6 or 7 touchdowns in the game, and the first thing he said is, yeah, man, I didn't do anything. My offensive line was tremendous.
And look at his size. He plays a lot bigger.
Yeah,
on that field.
He's not a big dude, but boy, I wouldn't want to try to tackle him. The 0-1. He has a called strike, 0-2 on the outside corner. Little frustration from Turner, but the outside corner has been a strike today. That's been the spot where you could go to get some calls today. As they throw back and the runner's in safe. Runner at first, no outs, no 2 to Reese Turner. Johnson will throw back again, and he's in safe again. Here's the pitch. It's chopped to Vedros, and it ate him up over at third. Max did the best he could to get in front of it, but couldn't get it in the glove. And now the Mustangs will have 2 on with no out. And you would think probably a bunting situation coming up for Bourne.
I know they're playing for 2 runs here. You could bunt, get 2 runners in scoring position.
The only problem is that you'd be setting up the bottom of your order potentially.
I'm waiting for the umpires to stop the banging in the Assumption dugout.
Some of them are really big on that. Some of them are not.
Next up for the Mustangs, number 20, Bourne.
Bourne has grounded out to Pierce twice in the game. Let's see what the decision is here for the Mustangs. You can maybe try to bunt him into scoring position, or you can maybe try to play for a big inning. He's showing bunt, and he doesn't pull the bat back. It's a called strike, 0-1. Tarpons are grateful because that was not a strike.
No, I was 4. Turner's got to be careful with first base for the Mustangs.
And Bourne got to make sure he doesn't pop this one up. It could be a double play or even worse. The pitch is a called strike this time, 0-2. He was not showing bunt that time. Johnson would love to get the first out of the 6th inning any way he could get it. He's ahead 0-2. The pitch. Grounded to Pierce at short. Gets it nowhere. He juggled it. Fink was trying to flip it to the second base bag. Couldn't get it anywhere. And the bases are now loaded.
Next up for the Mustangs, number 7, Prejean.
Like he tried to flip it, the ball in his glove.
Not making any excuses, but he's got that wrap on that thumb on the glove hand, and he's had a hard time controlling that ball with the glove since we've seen that happen. So Coach Bucky will probably just go tell Brock, hey, just keep doing what you're doing. We could very easily have 2 outs here in the inning. You had a bloop hit to right and 2 slow ground balls, 1 to third, 1 to short. They're not hammering you, but the bases are loaded and there's no outs. It'll be Prejean who's going to stand in. He flew out to right and grounded out to short. I think one of the messages the Tarpons are probably relaying here is, look, Don't try to be greedy. If we have to give up a run to get an
Yeah.
out, be smart.
Just getting out.
Three to 1 the score, but Assumption has the bases loaded with no one out. Chandler Prejean is going to stand in when play resumes.
I'm sure Coach Angelo will say, make them earn it. Just don't walk them.
At bat for the Mustangs, number 7, Prejean.
They're slightly in on the corners to maybe try to peg the runner down at home. The pitch. It's popped foul on the right side, out of play. Heads up. Oh. Just missed the vehicles, thankfully, out there 0-1. Johnson's 0-1. That one's hit up the middle and through. 2 runs are going to score. The Mustangs have tied this game on 2 RBI base hit from Chandler Prejean. And there's still no outs in the inning. Runners will now be at first and second. Figure the Mustangs now with the 9-hole would probably be bunting to get to second and third for the top
Next
of the
up for
order.
the Mustangs,
Well,
number
he's 2
9,
for 2.
Richard.
Yeah, fair point. Tough luck for the Tarpons, and really still not all that many hard hit balls in the inning. You're just hitting them where they ain't. He is not bunting, and he's taking a strike 0-1.
Vedral's playing up a little bit on third. Carefully to don't give up the bag. Well, he got Bowen at second.
He is bunting that time, but it pitches ball in the dirt 1-1. All is not lost, but it is danger time now for the Tarpons. Your 2-run lead has evaporated. There's 2 guys on base, and there's no out in the inning, and the top of the order is lurking. The 1-1, he shows bunt. He gets it down. Johnson will go to first for the out, so the Mustangs do get the clean sacrifice and move 2 guys into scoring position. The Tarpons get the first out.
Next up for the Mustangs, number 2, Russo.
Russo will stand in.
Russo 0 for 2 with a walk.
Yep. Now the infield is in all the way around. The Tarpons are trying to chop off the runner at the plate, potentially. The pitch. Grounded up the middle. Fielded by Johnson. Gets it to first. They got him hung up. They've got him hung up. Berger's going to go to second, and they'll get him, and that'll retire the side. Assumption. They got 3 outs in the inning there on the play. Either way, whether they count the out at home or the out at second, the Tarpons got 3 outs on that one play. They only needed 2. The Mustangs commit some base running miscues, and though they tie it up, they run themselves out of the inning. We're going to the home half of the 6th. It's 3-3 here on the Tarpon Sports Radio Network. For those of you who are watching the video stream of this game, the iPad is about to die, so we are going to probably kill the microphones at some point before the end of the video stream run by you. Either got 2 or 3 outs on the play, and Assumption squanders the opportunity as that's high 1-0. Turner's still out there battling. Vedros will stand in for the Tarpons trying to take it back. Wild play, though. There,
Yeah,
in the
it
end.
was.
The pitch popped up, and that will go into Memorial Stadium. It's 1-1. 3-3 the score. The Mustangs have just tied it. The Tarpons are trying to take it back in the bottom of the 6th. At 7, 8, 9 with the opportunity to try to do it. Turner's 1-1. Wide, 2-1.
This game may be won with the bullpen.
I was just thinking that, and I was just trying to figure out who would have the advantage. 2-1. Inside corner for strike 2-2. Tarpons used 2 of their big arms yesterday to play Central Catholic. Assumption hasn't played for a couple of days, but Coach Cadu said, hey, man, we don't have very many available arms. So we'll see. The 2-2 in the dirt, 3-2. Or South Lafourche could just go ahead and score 3 or 4 runs here. And
Could do it.
yep. Tell you what, all kidding aside, this is a huge pitch coming up from Reese Turner. You don't want to have a leadoff walk after you just tied it up. The 3-2. Chopped foul. Good job by Vedros staying alive. A huge game with district championship implications. And we're tied at 3 in the bottom of the 6th. Turner's pitch. Chopped foul. Good job by Vedros staying alive. Coach Cadu relaying the message to the catcher, who's relaying it to the pitcher. The full count offering is fouled again, staying alive. Vedros making him work. Three balls and 2 strikes. Another pitch. That's wide, and that's a leadoff walk, and that's one hell of an at-bat for Max Vedros. Now Dane Danos will stand in, and Coach Cadu is going to go talk to his pitcher or perhaps maybe even make the call to the bullpen. We'll see. He's taking the ball from him. Don't know who the next guy is going to be, but we'll find out in just a second. Let's take a 1-minute break. Pitching change. Timeout here with a 3-3 score. That pitching change is brought to you by Joe Septic Contractors, on call 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. We'll be back in a minute on the Tarpon Sports Radio Network. the game to begin with. So Turner is still out there. The Assumption team makes some defensive shifts as that one's bunted foul 0-1. Again, for those of you who didn't catch it all the first time, Semino was the designated hitter. He moves to center. The center fielder, Bro, moves to third. The third baseman, By, moves behind the plate. And Turner stays out there on the mound. Danos trying to get a bunt down. High, they'll throw back behind, and they got him picked off. If the Mustangs could execute this, there will be an out in the inning, and there it is. And that's why you make the decision to put a new catcher in there. By hummed it behind the runner, and there's one away. That's a tough break for the Tarpons there. Now the bases are cleared. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Pitch. Swing and a miss. And
Foul tip.
Oh, foul tip. No. They're going to say they got it. It's 2 away.
Next up for the Tarpons, number 27, Tyler
He
Sanders.
is a 2-time strikeout victim in the game. One looking, one swinging. Pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-1. You just feel the juice from the inning getting squeezed out on that pickoff play. That hurts. Sanders lines that one through the infield, so a solid base hit for Sanders. Could it be the start of a 2-out rally? Good job by Tyler getting a knock. Now Jacob Pierce will stand in.
Next up for the Tarpons, number 7, Jacob Pierce.
2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning and a scoreless 3-all tie. Sanders over at first. The pitch to Pierce is low, 1-0. See if Pierce could split a gap somewhere. The 1-0 is a called strike, 1-1.
Turner just looks like a different pitcher with the new catcher.
Yep, he is working very fast, isn't he? The 1-1 in the dirt. Good block by 2-1. Day is on deck for South Lafourche. The Tarpons would love to get him to the plate at some point in the inning. The 2-1 hit on the right side, gloved by the second baseman, and that'll retire the side. We're going to the 7th, the final regulation inning. We're in a scoreless tie. Oh, not a scoreless tie, a 3-all tie here on the Tarpon Sports Radio Network.
Education, prevention, care. The Terrebonne General Community Sports Institute was recognized by the Louisiana Athletic Training Association with the President's Award for Excellence in Health and Safety. With a passion for ensuring the well-being of over 23,000 student athletes and covering 1,400 sports events annually, our athletic trainers are dedicated to providing the best care in sports medicine. Discover more about Terrebonne General Community Sports Institute at tghealthsystem.com.
But he's going to have to get some really good hitters to do so. Goday has an infield hit to the shortstop, and he's grounded out and struck out. It's 1 for 3.
We may have a defensive sub. Tarpons, I can't see it.
What position you think?
I just saw the umpire pointing.
Pitch, it's low, 1-0. On the infield, it's still Pierce, it's still Vedros, it's still Rest, it's still Camden, it's still Mack. In the outfield.
Max re-entered.
Okay, yeah, oh yeah. That's
thanks to Speedy.
Yeah, there we go. The 1-0 to Goday. Here's a called strike, 1-1. Everything is magnified in a tie game in the last regulation inning. The 1-1 popped up. Will the Park hold it? I don't think it will, and it'll get foul. It'll be 1-2. Both teams in the 7th inning have 2, 3, and 4. So both teams probably like where it stands right now. But you got to execute and you got to make it happen. The 1-2 is low, and it's 2-2. To Lawson Goday, the right fielder for the Stangs. Two balls and 2 strikes. Johnson's pitch. Hit him. And that'll lead off the inning with a promising result for the Mustangs. As now Semino will stand in.
Next up for the Mustangs, number 16, Semino.
Semino reached on a fielder's choice ground ball RBI in the 5th. He's also struck out and walked. This is not the guy you usually would bunt, but you would potentially be playing for just 1 run here. Let's see. He is bunting, and he can't get the bat back around, and it's a called strike 0-1. See if they try that again. He's not bunting this time. He's grounding it foul, 0-2. Brock Johnson would love to just get any type of out here. The Mustangs have some guys throwing, not in the bullpen, but behind the dugout. The 0-2.
Ooh, that was
He
close.
did not offer. It's in the dirt, 1-2. See if I can see who's throwing out there. Looks like maybe 6. I'm not sure. I'm not going to guess. We'll wait and see. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitch. Fisted foul. And he'll stay alive. It'll stay 1-2. Johnson delivers to the plate. Bounce to Mack. A great block by Josh. And it'll be 2-2. Do not know who's the next in line to throw for the Tarpons. Johnson still has a couple of pitches left to go, but not a whole lot. Maybe about 10 or 15 more. The 2-2. Oh, he just missed. He wanted that one. He didn't get it. It's 3-2.
Yeah, I got him like maybe 7, 8 pitches left.
Full count delivery to Cole Semino. Got him that time. 1 away. Here's the frustrating thing, and here's why both teams are going to be aggravated. The last pitch was in the exact same spot. It was a ball
Next
one
up for
time.
the
It was a
Mustangs,
strike
number
the other
8,
time.
Bye.
As Bye will stand in.
Yeah, with 2 strikes, you can't take a pitch that close.
Bye has flown out to left, walked, and reached on an error. There's a runner at first, 1 out in the 7th. Johnson's pitch is a called strike 0-1. Both pitchers have given their all this afternoon for their teams. The 0-1 in the dirt, blocked by Mack, 1-1. Gode is standing over at first. He was hit by a pitch in the inning. The 1-1 fouled into the screen, and it's 1-2. Everybody on the edge of their seat here, waiting for something to potentially happen in the top of the 7. Johnson's pitch is foul, and it'll stay 1-2. There's a very strong possibility that this may be his last batter via the pitch count.
He's about 110 or so.
The 1-2. Lined under the glove of Vedros at third. And the Mustangs will have runners at first and second. Bro will stand in with 2 on and 1
Next up
out.
for the Mustangs, number 13, Bro.
Bro grounded into a double play in the third, but he has 2 base hits to right in his other at-bats. Coach Bucky is going to go and talk to Brock Johnson. The fact that this is Coach Buck going to make the visit and not Coach Gitros leads me to believe there are a couple of bullets still left available in the chamber. You can go over the pitch count number to start. Like once the at-bat starts, you could go over it, but you can't start a new at-bat over the number.
Yeah, I have him at 110 right now.
I think the number is 115.
115.
Yeah, so he would be able to potentially do 2 more. If he could get this guy out in 4 or fewer, he could potentially go 2 more. But that'll be easier said than done.
At bat for the Mustangs, number 13, Bro.
This is a huge spot in the game. What will the Mustangs do? Bro is 2 for 3. Johnson delivers, shows bunt, and it's by Mack. There's your bunt for free. That's a killer there. Now the Mustangs are going to go in a good situation. Tarpon's going to probably have to bring the infield in. Runners at second and third, 1 out. In a tie game, the infield is now in. Johnson's pitch. That's called strike 1-1. In this same spot, a couple innings ago, the Tarpons got out of it on a ground ball to Johnson. They're showing bunt. They're getting it down. Johnson is not going to be able to field it cleanly. If he could have fielded it cleanly, they would have had him at the plate, I think, but he couldn't quite scoop it over. The Mustangs are still running from first to second, but the Tarpons aren't paying attention on the infield. So the guy who bunted the ball is going to head to second after the Tarpons were kind of hanging their heads a little bit. And that'll be the end of the night for Brock Johnson, who pitched his guts out, but he's going to leave the game down a run. We'll give you the pitching change specifics. This pitching change brought to you by Joe Septic. On call 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. We'll be right back with Assumption now in front on the Tarpon Sports Radio Network. It's a huge spot. They are going to walk Reese Turner.
Intentional walk number 4.
So now
Turner
Bourne will
at
stand
bat
in.
for the Mustangs. Number 20, Bourne.
You look into the 7th inning for the Tarpons. If the Mustangs go back with Turner, he's at 76 pitches, so he has plenty.
The intentional walk loads the base is what that does. Is, boy, it really forces Vedros to throw strikes. Bourne will stand in. 3 straight ground balls to the shortstop. The infield is in. Vedros' pitch is a called strike 0-1. The 0-1 out into the screen, 0-2. With Lede, Johnson, and Berg due up in the 7th, you could see a scenario where the Tarpons could get the run back, but you pretty much got to keep it here. Bourne choking up on that bat with 2 strikes, and he fouls it into the screen. It'll stay 0-2. Vedros is 0-2. Is grounded through the drawn-in infield. 1 run will score. The 2nd run will be held up. The bases will stay loaded. Was not the hardest hit ball, but he put it in play through the drawn-in infield, and it's an RBI hit for Bourne.
Next up
And
for the
now
Mustangs,
Prejean
number
will stand
7,
in with the
Prejean.
bases still loaded. The infield will stay in. Prejean has 2 RBI on the day. He sees a called strike 0-1.
Watch for a squeeze there.
Pitch, he is bunting. He pops it up right to Vedros, who will make the play but doesn't have any other place to go. So there's now 2 outs in the inning. And a good job by Max. Fielding it.
Next up for the Mustangs, number
9
9,
hole, Robbie
Richard.
Richard will stand in. Bases are still juiced. Give Vedros credit. He's coming in and he's thrown strikes. The pitch. Here's a called strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Five to 3 Assumption. Vedros ahead, 0-1. That's hit on the right side. That's going to get out of play, and it'll be 0-2.
Fortunately for the Tarpons, boy, that bunt was fouled up because it won out.
0-2, that's hit to center. That's tailing right into the glove of Angelette, and that'll retire the side. Mustangs take the lead. The Tarpons are going to have some bottom of the 7th inning magic with Lede, Johnson, and Berg due up on the Tarpon Sports Radio Network.
Tarpons have been in this situation before. Needed runs in the bottom half of the 7th inning and scratch a couple across.
It would certainly help to get the leadoff guy on. But Day doesn't yet have a hit in the afternoon. The pitch. That's fouled into the screen, and it's 0-1.
Third baseman got to be alive for the Mustangs here.
Turner takes a deep breath. Now delivers the 0-1. It's high, 1-1.
Good job by Day right there, not chasing it, curve out the zone.
You need a base runner here if you're Big Blue. The 1-1. Fouled into the screen, and it's 1-2. Johnson on deck. He has a base hit and has been hit. See if Jack could battle back from behind in the count. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, and there's one away. Good pitch that time from Turner.
Next up for the Tarpons, number 5, Brock Johnson.
So the Tarpons are now down to their final 2 outs with Brock Johnson standing in. It's Turner's pitch. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Brian, you said it in the last half inning, and I think there's some merit to it. He is a different dude with Bye back there. He is throwing faster. The 0-1. That's fouled into the screen, 0-2. Seems to be much more confident. And that has been bad news for the home team. Snowballs and 2 strikes to Brock Johnson. Turner's pitch. That's low, 1-2. Pitch. That one is lined to the pitcher, who will get it to the bag for the second out. Tarpons are down to their final out.
Next up for the Tarpons,
And
number
Camden Berg will
15,
stand in.
Camden Berg.
Camden had an RBI hit, the 5th, that extended the Tarpons' lead to 3-1. Coach Cadu telling Turner, get me one more. That would be a huge pitching performance if he could give them a complete game here. Pitch to Berg. Is wide, 1-0. Mustangs trying to get to 1-0 in district play. They have a makeup tomorrow with Morgan City. Maybe a chance to get to 2-0 if they can hold on. The 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. We'll be talking about this game tomorrow on play-by-play at 11:30, as well as all the other action around the area. There's some huge games going on tonight. The 1-1. That's a called strike, 1-2. Tarpons are down to their final strike. One ball and 2 strikes in the bottom of the 7th. Turner's pitch. Got him looking, and that'll be the end of the ball game. So a breaking pitch ends it, and an outstanding job on the mound for Reese Turner. Assumption comes on the road and gets a 5-3 win over a South Lafourche team that had a 3-1 lead, but then couldn't hold on. Let's go ahead and take a 2-minute break. When we get back, our post-game show with the Mustangs getting a 2-run win in this district matchup here on the Tarpon Sports Radio.